what has allowed the Padres to once again go for it here in 2025, at least to the extent that they feel like they can go for it.
Well, and look, I think when you are at FanFest and you hear, Manny say he's disappointed in the offseason, that's got to hold a little weight with the higher ups, right? I mean, if you have superstar players that aren't happy with the direction, especially after how well last season went for the most part, we all know how it ended. Don't need to rehash that. There is something, we said it from the jump, like you can't let this momentum die. Is there a chance that they thought they may have started seeing some momentum for the team die, some trust for the team die, and say, guys, we got to get in a room, we got to figure this out. How can we make this work? AJ, we're going to task you with this. And AJ said, yeah, I can do it. I can be creative. Let's go. But you guys got to give me a little bit of rope here to figure this out. And they did. It probably is a mix of a lot of those things.
Option 4 is that they've actually felt some pressure from the fans, like a need to do something to change this narrative and change the mood of San Diego. And that was like a real factor, is a possibility. But let me go back to option number 3 again. Does anybody think Nick Pivetta is on the Padres right now? If his agent goes, yeah, we'll take 4 years and $55 million, but it has to be $13.75 million every single year.
He's not.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either.
I don't think he is. So obviously the creativity played a large part in Nick Pivetta being on the Padres this year.
Well, and you see other teams be creative, and again, we've said it a billion times. You have to have two parties. I'm sure they want to be creative. I'm sure that the Padres always want to be creative. You would be creative with every contract you offered, would you not? Why would you ever go, I'm going to give you 10 years, $300 million, and we'll call it a day, when I can give you $6 million and then pay you later, like other teams do? You have to have two parties. And the fact that we found a guy in Nick Pivetta that was willing to do that, a guy in Michael King that was willing to do that, speaks pretty highly, I think, of how they look at this organization and what they believe the direction of this organization is, right? Nick Pivetta's not signing that creative contract, Ben, if he thinks they're about to trade off a bunch of pieces and not go anywhere.
It takes a willing partner. Both sides have to meet there to get creative on contracts like that. It's not just hey, we'll pay you in 20 years.
I'd like to get creative with Mrs. Woods, but she has to be a willing participant in it. Okay? I'll get real creative. Let's explore the space. But I do it by myself. I do it by myself. Right. It's Valentine's Day. I think, that's a huge part of it, too. And again, you hear it in the national media all the time about the Dodgers, and there is no doubt what they've done. They've created a place where people want to play, and they're willing to be creative and move things around just to get in the door. We've got two examples of that here already. We're not going to get the national fanfare for it, and that's okay, because there needs to be more of it, honestly. But I don't think it's not a factor in this.
Greg, you're up with a better one.
At least a reliever.
I don't know who's out there to sign.
Qualify as a big
Pretty much every big name is gone now. So
Big move.
Trade.
Go get a big bat or something.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people yesterday talking about Yandy Diaz, first baseman. I think he's on the Rays.
Their everyday first baseman one day, and then
trade for Yandy Diaz. I saw a lot of that.
They love keeping us off balance, don't they?
Yeah. Well, we always yell at the national media for not knowing anything about the Padres. We covered them 365 days.
They were spots in the rotation, blah, blah, blah. Hey, we got 4 guys for 2 spots, and then they go on and say Nick Pivetta. We know nothing.
Hey, look,
we know more than everybody.
Bro, he has done a really good job the last couple of years at keeping it pretty airtight over there. He really has. And I'll say, when we started covering the team 7 years ago together, Benny, it wasn't that way. You'd hear stuff all the time. It's pretty quiet about what he's up to.